Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the IdOMUSIC podcast, and our goal and our mission is to empower and educate musicians and artists worldwide. And on today's episode, we sat down with Andrea and Erica Hamilton of TheoryCom PR firm discussing how they fell into public relations, being sisters and business partners, and balancing their personal and professional lives. Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the IdOMUSIC podcast. And I'm sitting down with Andrea and Erica Hamilton,
Yes.
TheoryCom.
What's going on, Sammy?
What's going on? How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling honored to be here.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
Really?
So
We
many
appreciate
great
you.
people have been in these chairs, so.
You were here for my very first podcast with KP.
Oh my God, I was.
Yeah, that was the very first one. So that's like,
You guys have done so much.
It's full
since
circle
then.
moment here.
it really is. It's exciting to have you guys. So or you ladies, excuse me. And it's always really important for me to have my women sit down and talk about this entertainment business because, you know, it's a little different for us sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in good positive ways too. I don't want to make it seem like it's a negative thing, but you
Of
all
course.
are both from Cleveland, Ohio,
Yes.
sisters, and
216.
216, and business owners. You launched your business in 2014, TheoryCom,
Yes.
and it's only been. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but
know.
you all have accomplished so much.
I can't even believe we're like approaching our 5-year anniversary. Like I was actually just in the bed thinking about it this morning, like, oh, what year are we on? I was like, 5. Oh my God, this is like a monumental year. But I was like,
Yeah.
it seems surreal because everything moved so fast for us. So we're so busy working, we just don't even like really keep track of like really even the accomplishments that we've actually had.
Well, they say year 5 is like a monumental. It is really like a
Right.
pivotal moment. You see, like the business is gonna either flourish or
Right, exactly.
and, you know, go downhill from there. So it looks like y'all are on the up and up. So congrats to you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we're definitely feeling that right now. Like, I feel like a lot of times entrepreneurs, people like you, like us, that are always on the go, it takes time for you to just sit back and reflect on what you've done and be like, damn, like I actually, like not even, it's okay to toot your own horn and be like, damn, I'm the shit. Like I really have done some great things.
You have to take that.
And
moment.
yeah, take that moment
Can
to
we
just
cuss on
really,
here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
absolutely, absolutely. So just, take a moment and just reflect and just be thankful and just gracious of all the opportunities that came your way, all the opportunities that didn't come your way or that you might have got looked over for.
Exactly.
And everything is just a lesson. So
For sure.
just very blessed.
So okay, so I know you both went to college. Erica, you were like, I'm not doing this.
It wasn't for me. Like, I've always been smart, but I've been more, I guess, just street smart, if you will. But I'm so not street, if that makes sense. So it's like maybe it might have been like my anxiety or teenage depression and things.
Right.
I just, never really got the best grades, didn't really apply myself, but I loved theater. So I love to do the things that I love, like my passions. Like I went to music class, I went to theater, but I would ditch like math, I would skip science, just things like that. I just
Yeah.
kind of knew that wasn't going to be my path. And my mom's an educator. So to really please her,
You went.
I had to go to school. But my dad is an artist, so he's all like free-spirited, do whatever you want. Like, I'm here for whatever the hell you want to do. My
Right.
mom's like, you got to be kidding me if you think you're not going to college.
right,
So
right.
I tried. I did. I definitely tried. But it didn't work out for me. Yeah, but wasn't for me.
Whereas on the other hand,
Well, it actually didn't work out for me either. I went
Okay.
to Savannah College of Art and Design, but I've always been just a creative and a visionary. But as Erica was saying, we're both extremely educated because of my mother. That's like all the children in our household. But
how many of you?
it's
are-
4 of us.
Oh, wow.
So
Big family.
I'm the baby, then Erica. We have an older sister, Jeanette, and then our oldest brother is Joel.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest of 4. I was the one that probably got the best grades. I applied myself the most at school. But once I got to college, it just didn't work out for me. I just couldn't do it anymore. So I actually dropped out of SCAD. I have 2 quarters left. My mom still wants to kill me to this day about it. She wants me to go back to school, but I just can't see it happening. I just see everyone that I went to school with, they're like, and granted, I'm not downplaying school at all because for some people you need that structure, you need that education, you need that to certain career fields, you need a degree to be able to work in that field. But I went to school for fashion design, so I'm watching everyone around me become a starving artist, and then they're $100,000 in debt. And I'm like, if I have an opportunity now to have a career, especially when my whole attention shifted from fashion design to public relations based just from an internship I took, that I was like, I just need to take this road, and my mom's just gonna have to be mad at me because I don't see.
We all were mad at her because Andrea downplays her talents, but I like to call Andrea like, no offense, like a little Jamaican. She got like 5,000 different talents. Like she can do hair.
Mm-hmm.
She can literally design clothes. She paints. She sketches. She got that from my dad.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we were mad about it, but like she was saying, I mean, you have to really follow what your heart.
Yeah, you gotta do what works for you.
I literally got kicked out of school 3 times. I got kicked out of school 3 times. I had to appeal to get back in 3 times. But every time I appealed, I didn't want to. My mom was just like, the pressure. It was the pressure. But I was like, in my heart, I'm like, this is just not what I want to do. But I felt so obligated because I wanted to make my mom proud. But then also, like, I just knew how much money we put into this. You know, school is not cheap.
Yeah.
Our school is like 10 times more expensive than just going to a regular university. Exactly. So, but finally, I was just like, I just cannot do this shit anymore. Yeah. And I just like had to follow my dreams, and I'm glad I did because here I am, you know.
Right,
now.
and like you being able to move to Atlanta, and I know I read something that, you know, you ended up moving here or moving her to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Y'all drove down here. So that decision to move here really changed the trajectory of your career and your lives.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I had always just, when I was in college, or when I was in high school, I was trying to figure out what college I wanted to go to. But I always just like gravitated towards like the Atlanta music culture. And like when I moved out here, it was 2007. So it was about 12 years ago almost. And that was like the Snap era.
Right.
Like them franchise, you know, like Trillville, them franchise boys, Lil Jon, like all that stuff was popping. So it made Atlanta just like, damn, this is the place to be. And you see black. I'm unapologetically black. Like, don't get me wrong. I can be very diverse. Our family's diverse, everything. But I love, like, everything about black people and black culture. So, like, when I see it in Atlanta, I'm like, yeah, I got to move to Atlanta. I don't care what school I go to. Right. So I applied to several schools in Atlanta. And, you know, I got accepted. But then I ended up going the art route because that's what I thought I wanted to do. Had I actually maybe attended, like, Clark or something, I think maybe I would have graduated. Like, not even being funny, like, because of the experience. The program, the experiences. That's the thing. Like, I'm a social person, so the experiences and just being around other like-minded people and just people who are more similar to, like, just me on a personal side. At art school, I was around a lot of people who were like me when it pertained to my creative side, but when it pertained to everything else, like, I just was like, I couldn't connect. Yeah. So I would always hang with everyone who was at the AUC. So I feel like maybe if I went to AUC, I probably would have stayed in school. But, you know, I really don't have any, I literally have no regrets about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any regrets either because you all have done your thing with, you know, turning an internship experience into now having your own PR firm.
Right.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about you both interning. So I know, Andrea, you started with the internship with Angela Watts, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Who's your mentor?
Yes.
Tell me about how you decided to like, or what was the motivation behind going into like PR? Like, how did you say, okay?
It was like really odd. I just, when I was in fashion school, like I'm a Taurus and we're really about stability. If anyone is into zodiacs, like career, finance, stability is our thing. So like, I always knew that I was into the arts, but I knew I could never like be a starving artist. Like I didn't have that type of like passion to just not make any money like for what I do. So I was like, let me just take a bunch of internships and figure out some other like career fields that I can kind of get into. And so I saw like fashion PR, and granted, I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't even know what like a publicist was, what they did, like anything about it. I actually went in and for the to apply for an interview with her, and the first thing she asked me to do was write a press release, and I was like, okay, I was like, all right, and I hurried and got my phone and Googled like press release, and I just like kind of skimmed through, and then I wrote one, but like I said, since we came from an educational background, like I knew how to write, so it was good, and so she hired me, and I was like, woo. All right, now what's next? Because I don't even, I didn't know what this was about at all. But I used to go out all the time, so I knew a lot of people. We had a big network. Erica and I knew a lot of people, so it kind of just like merged like very seamlessly. Like once I got into the field, like I already had contacts and connections at a young age.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for me, my journey was definitely different. Like I was in Cleveland, dropped out, was working just retail odd jobs, trying to stack up, living at home, like really not doing shit. And I'm like, okay, I keep seeing Andrew down there in Atlanta, like just popping. I'm like, I got to get down there. So we drove her down in what was supposed to be a weekend trip. Like I said, I had nothing really to do. So I just stayed for like a month. And then she was like, okay, you really can't just live here with no job or nothing. You need to go back home and get some money.
She literally lived with me and my roommate. I had the nicest roommate. We were so wrong to her. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Shout out to Jasmine and Tony.
No, not Jasmine.
But
Jessica.
But so I came down here after that, and I moved into the apartment. They had a bedroom ready for me, and I was seeing, like I said, I came down here. I was working retail still. I was working at Baker's, but it wasn't fulfilling. So I saw Andrea at this internship, and I'm like, okay, I think I could probably volunteer, get in there some way, somehow. I knew I'm a very big communicator. I'm a people person. Like, you see me out in the streets. Like, I love people. So I'm like, if that's what the job is going out, networking, meeting people, like, I do that naturally. So I can do that. So Angela, she took a chance on us. Definitely me for sure, because I started from like the bottom, like just volunteering at events, and then becoming an intern and working my way up to be an account exec. But, just naturally, certain things reach a ceiling. And it becomes a point where, okay, I think I have to do more for myself. And we learned so much from her, but we knew at a certain point we needed to.
Well, I think our direction of just like what she wanted for her business and what we were interested in and like to do just definitely were going in different paths. So it was one of those things like, okay, we can kind of go this way and you can go this way. But, we still love Angela to this day. It's still big sis.
So
grateful for all the opportunity she gave us.
Yeah, once we made that decision, we were like, okay, so what are we gonna do? We're really gonna start a business. And I'm gonna let you probably get into that. But yeah, so then we just decided 4 years ago that we were gonna just take a leap and just start our own thing.
How long were y'all working with her before you decided?
A few years.
I was working with her for like four or five. I was working with her since I was 21, 22. Yeah, I was working for her.
And I was there for at least 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And so aside from building that relationship with her and like still having her as like a mentor, what would you say you learned during that experience? Obviously, the skills that it takes to.
First, for me, discipline.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And organization. I am the most. I can be. I'm working on it. Let me say, I can be the most scatterbrained person. Like going into zodiacs. I'm a Leo, so I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of more free-spirited.
Like free-spirited,
And so I can in my brain, things can be kind of organized, but I don't have it filed. Like, Angela taught us time management. She taught us, like I said, just being obedient, staying disciplined, staying on yourself, and just the overall structure of public relations. Right. I felt like, Andrea and I, we brought our own personal, natural, God-given talents, but she laid down the groundwork for us, the foundation. So it's like, once we had that, we knew that we could be able to be successful in our own lane.
Dope. That's amazing. So working with your sister seems like it could be challenging at times. I have a big sister. I have a younger sister, siblings. Don't know that I could work with my big sister personally. I mean, we could, but she's also way older than me. So you guys are closer in age too.
We're like 16 months apart or something.
Yeah, we're 17 months apart, and she's. What I'm saying? Like, no, but you know what? Like, Erica and I, we're the craziest relationship in the world, and anyone who knows us on a personal level, they can attest to it. We literally will we used to fist fight every day as kids, but then we'll be best friends 5 seconds later, and then I would never let anything happen to her, and vice versa. We're psychotic about each other, but it's one of that the biggest love-hate.
I have to use those words. We're not psychotic over each other, but we love each other.
We love each other a lot, and at the end of the day, I'm not giving the corporate answer here, because that's why. At the end of the day, see, we always go back and forth. We bicker. That's what we do, but it works well because honestly, Erica and I are yin and yang. We are totally different, but we are also extremely similar. So the differences that we have work in the business. Because like she said, she's more of the people person. She's free-spirited. She's great at events. She's great with networking. I'm very heavy on the business side, the back end, making sure everything is
She makes sure the invoices are sent and received.
Just the plans. I like to make sure everything is in control because I'm very OCD with it. But she's definitely so we work very well together and no one knows one another like we do. So we can get over stuff fast. It wouldn't be like if I got in an argument with a person that I just work with.
Exactly.
It may not had worked out. We may not be here today. But because we know we'll never separate, so it's just one of those things we shake off and keep moving.
So, and I will say that too, because I find it interesting that you're more of like the people person, working the room really well, and then you are behind the skills getting the like marketing campaigns going and everything. Is it a misconception that you have to be like this super people person in order to thrive in the PR world? Not to say that you're not, but I'm just saying, like, is it a misconception?
I definitely think that you do have to be a people's person. Like, there's no way you can.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is publicize a product or a person to the people. So if you can't get to the people, how the hell are you going to get the product to the people?
Right.
So you have to be out. It's like we're getting older. We're all getting in our 30s now and stuff. Like, nobody wants to go to events 30 times a week. I know, like I said, we're friends.
We're all tired.
We're out here. But it's like, it's something that you just know you have to do it's discipline. Going back to that point, you have to be disciplined. If this is what you want, then you know what comes with it. You know, if I want people to support me, I have to support them. It's just simple things. So it's like,
Yeah, I'm definitely more standoffish than Erica, but no one would really know that because I've learned and grown and developed to be able to talk to people more. I'm one of the people, how I really am is like I'm one of those people that sits back, I say, hey, and I kind of watch. I'm an observant person. I like to just catch people's energy. Erica will work a whole room, know everyone's social security number by the time she comes back. And so what we did is that even though I taught myself how to be like her, because there's a lot of times where she can't be where I'm at, and I can't just sit back on the wall and be a wallflower. I have to be able to get out and talk to people. But we just learned that that's her strong suit. So when we are together, or if it's a certain thing, she's gonna be placed in that area because she's more comfortable in that zone, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's a great balance.
Like she said, you absolutely have to be a people person. You cannot not speak to, like, have communication issues in the communications industry.
Exactly.
You just cannot
Which is so crazy because you do run into people who are terrible communicators who
absolutely.
are, work in our industry. So
for sure.
TheoryCom started almost 5 years ago, but you ladies have accomplished a lot, like I said in the beginning. From clients like Lou Will, who's LA Clippers, Snob Life, Ming, The Gathering Spot, right?
Yes.
T.I., and so on and so forth. I think the range of your clients also is something that me and Keyshawn were talking about off the record, but the range of your clientele is like from one side of the industry to the next, which is super dope. Like, you're involved in the community, and you're able to engage across clients too, like from T.I. to The Gathering
Because
Spot.
that's a great point, because we're family, we always want to treat our clients like family. So we built our company based on that, a very familiar thing. So we want everyone to be able to know each other and work together, because at the end of the day, that's what just human nature. That's what we're supposed to do, is connect with each other. We all have something that the other person doesn't. So if you have The Gathering Spot, shout out Ryan and TK, those guys are amazing at what they do. They've created a home for creatives to explore, to meet new people, to host events, to just work, to just build. So you take a spot like that, and then I'll take somebody like a T.I., and we'll do a Hustle Gang concert in that spot. But it's creating the synergy between everybody.
Exactly.
So it's so important.
And how have you managed to start that company, though, and gain such a clientele? I know you talked about y'all going out a lot and, like, building those relationships early on and, like, being in Atlanta.
That's what
that's definitely the start. Just really building organic relationships with people without having to need them for anything. So we knew these people for years. And our first client was Lou Williams, actually, and he was a friend of mine for years, and I would always help him with stuff without asking for him to pay me or anything. So when it came down to our time of, hey, we're opening up this business, I don't even know what the name is, but will you be our first client? He was like, absolutely, just send me over whatever, I need to look over, and I definitely am going to hire you guys. And it kind of just like, and then the next big one was Shaka Zulu, Ludacris's manager. He hired us to do the VH1 Rock Doc ATL Rise.
It came out in 2014.
So it was literally, it came out maybe about 3-4 months after we even launched our business. And we did the black carpet premiere. We were talent liaisons. We got TV and film credits for that. And that was like a huge look. So when people see us like, oh, they just started their business and now they're already getting TV and film credits.
Yeah, like our first thing we did was an international TV show. Like, you know what I mean? And then for us to have the mayor at our events and all of these, pretty much everyone that we interviewed in the documentary, you know, from the Killer Mikes to the Big Boys to the Kilo Ali's, Raheem,
Right.
all of these people are here. And I'm like, okay, this is exactly where we need to be. Like, you can only go up from there. And if we're starting at a place, you know, we always are so gracious to Shaka because he really did give us our first big alley-oop in this game.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like from there, and like I said, he knew what to do to give us the visibility. He didn't just pay us under the table like, okay, here,
Right.
be a talent liaison. I'm going to make sure that you get the credit.
Right.
Because that credit led to us.
And just the whole DTP camp. So Shaka,
Yeah.
Aisha, Jeff, everybody in that whole group, they really
Why do you think they took a shot on you guys?
I think because
I think
you can really recognize people's spirits and people's
Yeah.
souls, and you just know who's genuine and who's really out here.
And they saw us like the work. They saw us with Angela. They saw how we worked and they saw we were young and hungry. And I've just noticed with him and some other like higher level music executives, they really love the young, hungry. Like they see it. They can spot it. They can spot talent. That's what they do for a living. So I
Right.
think that they kind of saw what we had in us before we even knew what we had in us.
Right.
And they wanted to make sure that they came in, you know, and assisted with that. And they've always, still to this day, just been so helpful and always been around. We still work with Luda Day Weekend every year. So
Yeah, like what I was saying was that, you know, with him giving us those credits, that led to us getting a gig with Netflix because they were working on a documentary. It's already out. It's amazing docuseries called Hip Hop Evolution, if you guys have ever checked it out.
Yeah, so-
So we are actually the talent liaisons for that show now because they saw that and they were like, you know, who better to reach out to for all the hip hop people we need than these girls who clearly did it for this show. So I'm like, you know, I didn't even realize the power of just, you know, little things like a credit and how that actually matters. So like that opened the door to the Netflix gig, and that has been amazing. This amazing company called Banger Films out in Canada. Darby, he leads that production crew. They're amazing, and what they're doing with Hip Hop Evolution is just dope. Like everyone got to check it out.
Yeah, you're such a publicist and made by nature. Just like, yeah, but you don't forget. Like,
right,
no,
you guys
I
have
love
to
it.
plug it in.
No, you have to. So let me ask you, where did the name Theorycom come from? What was the idea behind that?
Man,
We thought of a lot of names for a long time.
you know, we really wanted to take time and like honestly, like even down to the color scheme, our green, it's energy, it's renewal, it's about just like
My
fresh
favorite color.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want like we really looked up color theory, you know, more so going into her art school. We really like, I'm on the internet like, okay, don't choose gray, don't choose red because red is for something else, blue is for like calming, relaxing. I'm like, we don't want that.
And we
Yeah.
just really thought of a lot of words that we wanted to describe us and then like synonyms. But the overall, you know, theory is like a series of ideas that creates like a statement or a conclusion of something. So it's like, what's your theory? Like we are creating this story, these series of points to have this conclusion, which is the product. So we knew when we were starting our business that every single thing branding wise had to make sense because we are branding other people. And if you don't, if someone asks like, what does theory mean? And I don't have an explanation for it, then how am I supposed to create your brand? It doesn't make sense. And a lot of people that I've noticed, they just kind of put stuff out based off of what they like. Like, oh, I'm gonna do a logo, it's pink because I love pink. And oh, I'm just gonna name it this because it's after myself. And it's like, there's no, the most important thing is to have a real thought process behind what you do. And we really took the time, like we took a hard 30 days after we stopped working with Angela. Like we launch this company in a month, but we have 30 days that we have to get everything together and everything has to be aligned. And we have to have a website and everything has to look good and everything has to make sense. Everything has to make so much sense so that and it works for some people, but my fear always has been like, I hate to have to come back and rebrand after we work so hard to get people to recognize my brand. And then it's like, I hate this name.
Yeah.
It's got to go. And
Yeah.
now I got to get everyone used to calling me something else after they've called me this for 10 years. So we really try to take the time to just figure that out the best way we could.
So I know you mentioned, Erica, you said something about essentially when you were talking about like getting that next Netflix credit or whatever, and how you all had a gig like kind of straight out the gate. But it appears that way to the public, but I know y'all were working behind the scenes.
Oh my God,
for
yeah.
so
I mean,
long.
we were taking on so many, you know what? So many different things that didn't sit right with us internally. Like,
Yeah.
it was quantity over quality, and that's a really big thing. Like I think there's a big misconception out here, especially in Atlanta. Everyone has to feel like, oh, I'm just doing more than you. I'm just doing so much. I'm doing so much. But we had so many people and wasn't doing shit. We had so many clients that we didn't even believe in their brand. I didn't resonate. I didn't understand what they had going on, but I knew, shit, I need some money. So let me go ahead and take this little $500 here. Let me go take this little $1,000 over here. And I was so stressed. I would be crying myself to sleep at night. They would be blowing me up all day, every day, knowing that they're only paying me like $200 a month. So it's like, how the hell do you think you have my attention all day? You know, so it's like knowing your worth. And the first 2 years was definitely learning the worth and knowing what to charge. So first and foremost, for people, don't be scared to charge a number that might not sit well with somebody else, but it sits well with you because you know all the work that you got to go through to do it. So, it was definitely a learning process those first few years. And we worked with, so many different people. But our third year and going into this fourth year was really like a coming into who we are moment in business and really aligning ourselves with people that we really believed in. Even one-off projects, how, okay, we can have retained clients, but we might just do someone's birthday party or someone might have a panel we might need to put together. Everything still has to resonate with me.
Right. And just not even us, because as we touched on before, it's a family business and we operate as a family, including our clients. So I don't really bring on clients that I don't feel like cannot stand next to my other clients.
Exactly.
Because we have to keep them in mind too and their brand integrity. So if we're representing one type of person or one type of brand, we can't bring in brands that don't complement them. So everything is just kind of, now we've been blessed enough to get to a space where we can be very selective and turn people down. I mean, I hate to do it, but I always give referrals, but at the end of the day, we know what we can and cannot do and want to do at this point.
Definitely. I think that's a great point. And I also want to add to adding or knowing your value and your worth. A lot of times we short ourselves, but you ladies were able to garner about $320K in 2017 in your business. I found that online somewhere. How have you been able to grow since then?
Which I'm still trying to see that because I don't know what the hell that money is.
After expenses, no, it's real, but after, expenses and paying people
that just shows people $1 million isn't nothing. It really isn't shit.
Because the more money you make, like they say, more money, more problems. More money you make, the more people you have to pay, the more taxes, the more everything. Again, for me on the back end, because Erica really doesn't get to see anything. She just sees when I pay her, and that's
She's my financial
I'm
advisor.
her financial advisor at this point. But for me, it's when it comes to tax time, aka now, I'm just yo.
Yeah, it's the worst time for
how much we owe?
We don't get anything back. We have to pay. But
tax season ain't fun for me.
Right.
This ain't fun. When you're an entrepreneur, tax season is not like back in the day when you waiting for your woo, can't wait to spend my tax money. No, can I get an extension?
Right.
Because I don't want to pay.
Right. Right. No, I totally understand. So surely it's not just the two of you. I'm sure your team's grown, or has your team grown since the start? Seems like it'd be a bit easier.
Here's the thing. We have, because we're sisters, because we're young women, we have done nothing but always welcomed in our door to young women. So we've always went to colleges to look for young women in media, in PR, and sometimes not even in that field, just because they might not even know that they might
have an interest
in this. So we've been blessed to have had so many amazing young ladies that have been interns. Some, went on to be account execs. Some went on to start their own PR companies. So it's but the one thing is that I will say that I've learned is that nobody is going to go as hard for your business as you are. So we really rely on ourselves for everything. To be honest, majority of the time it is just us. Like I said, we have amazing girls, but they're still learning too. And because we got thrown in, not necessarily we got thrown into the wolves, but we kind of did get thrown into the wolves, but we were ready for that. We knew how to hunt and make our kills. I feel like I need to do a better job at training. I need to do a better job at being able to take some time to really teach my interns what it is to do. But
I think well, do you find that it's a bit easier to just work with your sister, knowing that y'all have this relationship versus a difficult time adding people to a team? Because I know for me, it's really difficult for me to say like, okay, I need you to do this, that, and the third when I know I can do it myself.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is that you get, and then like it's trial and error. You kind of get burned a few times, and it puts a bad taste in your mouth because for us, like we have demanding clients with deadlines and things that need to get done, like period. So if I give you a task and it doesn't get accomplished, but no one says anything, now I have to come back and do it. So then that becomes more aggravating to me than rather the thought of someone can get this off my shoulders. Now I'm thinking like, actually, I'm gonna have to come back and do this. So that we always kind of get that fear when you know, as you go through interns or just stuff like that. But we always have to like kind of take the step back that they're still learning, they're still growing, they're in college. What they teach you in college is not the same as what's real life.
Everyone might not, and like I said, everyone might not be ready to be thrown to the wolves.
Exactly.
So that is something that I know that going into this new year, that's something I'm really focusing on, is being able to take time out to teach and really hold the hands through and not just expect somebody to know what to do, because that's not fair.
It's not. So you two are always on point when I see you. I know the first time that I actually introduced myself to you was recently at the Rap Plug. At the gathering spot. Mm-hmm. So, but regardless, whenever I see you, I've come across your social media pages. You're always on point. From detailed outfits to the class and the poise that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Same
for sure.
as you, Sammy.
Thank you. You know, I do what I can. So why is it important, especially in your industry, though, to look and act the part in this business?
You're marketing other people's brands. It's like, this is the best example I can say. Like if you go to a new hair salon as a woman and your hairstylist's hair is crazy, you're going to look like,
I'm not trying to come,
my hair may end up like that. So you have to always, because I've learned just from being 18 and being out, you never know who you're going to run into, especially in Atlanta. I tell people all the time, like, Atlanta is the place where you're going to meet everybody. That's why we're still here. Obviously, there's so much work to be done in LA, so much work to be done in New York, but we'll just fly for that. The same people come to Atlanta and their guards are down. Everyone is just everywhere because there's no paparazzi. People are chilling and people network here, really. So you don't want to be the one looking nuts, and then you meet the CEO of Coca-Cola, and now he's looking like, okay, hey.
And I have on like a Magic City sweatshirt.
Exactly.
You know, like
you just have to be prepared to meet anybody and to just be introduced to anyone and just for anything. So especially like, of course, I'm a mother, so I walk around in my sweats all the time now. You know, I feel like I've gotten to that place where I can do it. But when it pertains to events and like real outings, like I'm gonna definitely
she's throwing on a fur. Like me, I'm definitely more like Chuck Taylor's, as you see now. Like I'm definitely more chill, and she gets on me about that. But but the thing is, I want to design a space, an environment where I'm comfortable what I'm wearing, what I'm in. Like, I'm not comfortable in suits. I'm not comfortable dressing up like that. So I wanna work with people that are cool with what I'm wearing,
but
what I'm doing.
It's not even about that to me, though, in terms of like, oh, you're dressed in a suit and it's nice dress and heels or whatever, but it's just like the poise and the, you know, you're polished, you're not coming, you know, you don't look any type of way, even if you did have on sweats. It's just like your demeanor.
You just have to always make sure, like, because, you know, everyone goes through stuff every day. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has problems. There's people who are getting evicted, but you have to always put a smile on. You have to always play the part, keep a smile on, look nice, you know, put your best foot forward every single day, no matter what you're going through. Because like I said, you just never know what opportunities may lie ahead of you. So whether you're all you have is your sweats, you know, like I said, it's about how you carry yourself and how you talk to people and the look on your face when you're walking around every day. That's kind of what people
like. What I kind of pride myself on is the fact that we deliver. So I might be like, look, I might have been 5-10 minutes late, but I stayed an extra hour to clean up. And you know that event was bomb as hell. Don't play me. So, you know, it's like you just, I just know how to do the balance.
I think that's important. So I want to ask why you two are the people for the job. Because and I said this initially, but there are so many people who do PR in the city, and there are so many people who do other jobs in our industry. But for some reason, people reach out to TheoryCom or they might reach out to Sammy Approved and say like, hey, like I want you all to do the job. So why would you say that is?
We get dirty. We're like way more than publicists or if it's an event planners. We really pride ourselves on making sure the job gets done no matter what. So there's been events where Erica and I have been caterers and
passing
like a whole
out catering staff, like
passing
quit or
out
something.
Food. We're the cleaning company. We're going to clean up. Like, we have never been the type to stop at what our job title is. I'm never going to allow any ship I'm on to sink. So we will literally play every role in that on that ship to ensure that it doesn't sink. And because we are a family business, and I'm going to keep bringing that up, everything is family, and you'll do anything for your family. You know, most people will do whatever for their family, whatever it takes. And that's how we treat every single client, every event, every activation. This is a family thing. So we have to literally be dedicated to it.
Yeah, and I think like what Andrew's saying, you know, it definitely goes into like the word of mouth, because people see that, and because people see our work ethic. Like I was telling you earlier, like we don't do a lot of interviews. It's not that I don't want to. It's just we actually enjoy being in the background. Like there's a lot of people that are PR or just people that are supposed to be background that want to be in the spotlight so bad. So I think people gravitate towards us because they know that they can trust that we're going to get it done, and they know that it's going to be a pleasant working experience because we have great, you know, personalities, and we treat people well and with respect.
Totally. Okay, so one of my last questions I really wanted to ask is that your personal life. So you mentioned you have a daughter, a young daughter at that. You're in a relationship. I don't know, like your personal lives to that extent, and I'm sure you all don't want to share all of that. But I always wonder, balancing those things, how difficult it could be. How do you do it? How do you...
For me, it's been crazy. It's a whirlwind, but just time management and prioritizing is like what has been the most important for me once I had my daughter, because I actually had her within the first year of our business. So everything was very new for me. I was panicking. Erica was having nervous breakdown. I actually checked out the hospital the next day after I had her, just so I could go home and still work, because I was panicking too. But what I do every night, I sit on my phone. I work till about 4 a.m. every day. So I'll sit on my phone and I write a to-do list of every single thing that needs to be done for the next day and every single thing that needs to be done for the week. And I don't go to sleep the next day until everything is checked off. But I always know my daughter's schedule. So I'm the type of person that I have 6,000 alarms set on my phone. Like, Ava, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, reading time, school, this, whatever. Like, just so that I can know, like, all right, stop what you're doing. Let's do this. And then I always take at least 2 days out the week where I take her somewhere, whether it's Legoland or whatever. And Erica is Auntie Mommy. That's what she calls her, because my daughter loves her Auntie Erica greater than me. So she's very helpful.
With her new little fish.
Oh my goodness!
I feel like I know your child.
I can't believe I can't believe I went and got her this fish, because now it's just, oh my goodness. But it's really just, like I said, about setting tasks and time management and understanding, like, also to take that time for yourself, because I overdid it and I started breaking down. Like, and I never have been that person to like break. I've always been like hello, how are you doing? I'm good. But like, it was just not until recently I was just like, oh my God, like I gotta stop this and like really just take like that recharge moment, because honestly, that's better for our industry to be creative. You can't be overdone and be creative still, because I noticed like I don't have ideas anymore. Where did my ideas go?
And I balance, you know, okay, I definitely needed to take personal time for myself. So I have other interests outside of public relations. Like my interest has always been, I've always loved acting and theater. And I, you know, started it earlier when I came out here in Atlanta, lacked some confidence, but jumped back in it. This past year, I've just, I guess, like I said, growing into your 30s, just coming more into your womanhood, you just discover more things about yourself and how life is short. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I still have it in me. Yeah. So I, you know, shout out to Dad's Garage. They're amazing. Like, I love that improv theater. I've taken classes there. I have a level 4 improv grad show coming up in January. Yes. I'm going to tell you guys can come.
Please.
But, you know, it's been difficult at times. Definitely, you know, balancing things with personal life and relationships or lack thereof.
Yeah, when you have like a growing business, it's the fear of missing out, or the fear of like, I can't slow down because there's so many people coming up doing the same thing. So it's almost like I can't stop ever, but you have to. Yeah. You have to literally just
I'm happy
relax.
you said that. I'm happy you said that. Like, you know, give yourself some time.
You have to.
Because I'm amazed, like, you know, from the outside looking in, I'm looking at y'all like, wow, like they are really doing this out here. Like you cook, you like support your family. You're like stepping in to be auntie mommy, like, and like with the kid. Like it's really, I think definitely about balance. And I talk to a lot of people on this podcast about it because in our industry, it's just like on go 24/7. There is no stopping.
Because everyone's, like I said, they're so scared of losing their space because this is such an interchangeable industry. Like you can be replaced fast because there's so many new people coming, but it's just like you can't live with that fear because it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm definitely learning to take time for myself. Yeah. Like I have a 6 o'clock hot yoga appointment.
Ooh.
Never tried it, but I'm just doing things for myself to just balance the chaotic personal life, work life, and just reflect and get myself good. Because once you get yourself good, you're good for everyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had to literally like make a post on Instagram a couple months ago, and everyone still like clowns me about it. But I made a post like, if you're not one of my actual clients, don't call or text me after 10 p.m. Period. Or I'm sorry, after 8 p.m. because people will call me until 3 a.m. just wanting to talk business, like I don't have a kid or like want to be asleep or just anything.
Yeah, so just like personal boundaries is very important.
I think that's important. Lucas giving me the finger.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I wanted to bring it to the full circle.
Thank you. She keeps cutting me off. She keeps giving me a look like stop talking.
No, y'all are doing
a little long-winded.
I can't stand you. Y'all have such an interesting relationship that I think obviously works well with TheoryCom. So thank you for sitting down with me and just like talking about your experiences.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, and how you just grown and like such. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, and I admire you. And I hope that you know that you inspire other ladies, young ladies that are doing this because you know we are kick-ass, badass girls.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, thank you, and tell them where they can find you, your business on social media.
Okay, so our social media is TheoryCom, so TheoryComm, mother. And then my personal is E_hammer, 3 R's at the end. Don't ask, I don't know.
And my personal is Fashion Dree because clearly I made it when I was still in fashion school. All one word, no underscores. And our website is www.theorycom.com.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies, so much. Shout out to TheoryCom. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. As always, you can follow us, the podcast, at IDM Podcast on social media, as well as myself, Sammy Approved, on all social media platforms. Thank y'all again.
Thank you so much.
Sonically superior.